This year at the Sudlow Family Lights Show we had a new addition. This is a pixel matrix. What I did here, this is actually just a standard vinyl lattice that I picked up down at Lowe's. In order to get these pixels to fit in, there is just a little tiny ridge. I don't know if you can see this here, but there's just a little tiny ridge that has about a 1/16 of an inch thickness that it will grip onto material with. So in order to get that to fit with the lattice, you can see I had to use my router, and I thinned out the material to where I had only 1/16 of an inch thickness from the front to the back, and I hid the actual routing out on the back side, and then I went through, I believe with a 7/16 inch drill bit, and drilled the hole through that the individual pixels stick through. So on this panel I have 496 light bulbs. Each of these are individually controlled pixel bulbs. So if you take a look at the wiring, you can see a red, a white, and a blue wire. The red wire carries 12 volt DC power to the lights. The blue wire is a ground signal, and the white wire is the actual data coming from our pixel controller. So all of these lights are connected in series. We just zigzag from one side back to the other. So I start off on this corner and work my way all the way down and step up and come back. The keen-eyed among you may notice that there is an extra set of black and white wire on this. In this case, that is actually the power injection. So when we get down to the end of the string, so we've come down this way and come back at the end of our string of 50, we have a connector here for connecting the two strings together, and then an extra couple of wires, the red and the blue, which are our 12 volt power DC, and the ground connection. Those connect into this white wire and black wire. So power is brought in on the white wire and the ground on the black wire. But that comes down. I've got a quick disconnect weather pack connector to keep the moisture in the water out. Here in Oklahoma it does tend to rain more than snow, so trying to keep the rain out. But that then connects back over to our power supplies. Again, we have these connected in using a set of fuses, and these are a standard Meanwhile style power supply, and again are protected by their individual fuses. So if we come back over, you'll notice that our signal connections have a couple of random pixels stashed in the middle. You can see each one of these pixels has its own computer chip in it. And what we're doing with these is that computer chip is actually relaying the signal from the control module, in this case an Alpha PIC 16, over all the way to the pixel matrix. But what happens is that run is so long that the signal going over to the panel can get degraded and scrambled, so your lights won't display quite the right thing. By installing these null pixels, they will continue to repeat the sequence and ensure that it doesn't get degraded. It acts as kind of a mini inline amplifier for our signal, if you will. So, in this case, I have 496 pixels, which is more than the 340 pixels that is the maximum for each output. So in this case, we actually have two separate outputs connected to the panel. So midway down the panel, we split the two strings. So there's another entire string starting right here. And again, this works its way down and back. Now, Holiday Coro does offer something that is similar, that they've got their own pixel network, or pixel matrix mesh. It's designed for these to be easily poked in. But one thing I like about using the vinyl lattice instead is it provides a bit more structural rigidity to the panel. So in this case, I've just got it tied up into the trees. I got a bungee cord and some paracord holding up my corners over here. And at the bottom, I've just got a piece of PVC that I have lashed to the tree with some paracord. And then zip tied the bottom of the panel onto that. So by going through and setting all this up this way, I'm able to display images and videos on this, and since everything is nice and square, it provides a much better rendering of how that image looks.